Hey everyone, it's Steve. Today I'm going to be talking about my Smith & Wesson VTAC model, and mainly I'm going to be talking about the Viking Tactics sights. Now obviously you can see they're not installed on the gun anymore, which is would be a bad thing, I guess, for Viking Tactics. I don't really buy into their new system, and if you don't know anything about these sights, they are their new concept, I guess, by Viking Tactics, and it's a 6-dot system. So you'll see you have some green dots on the top, which are fiber optic, and I'll kind of try to show you that now. I don't really have much light, but I'll see if I can. You can kind of see they light up. They do better in the daylight, but you have the fiber optics on the top for kind of fast target acquisition, and you have lamps on the bottom, which are tritium, so that you got night sights. So you got daytime, sort of target sights, fiber optic on the top, night sights on the bottom. So there's sort of a day and a nighttime sight concept with two different aiming points, I guess you can say. And it's just a sort of, as you can see, it's sort of a cluttered sight picture. And now, as a point of comparison, what I switched to was these Trijicon HD sights, and you can see you just have a blacked out rear sight and an orange dot up front, and you still have tritium vials inside of that orange dot and the rear sight. So you still have the same daytime, nighttime shooting capability. And I would say that these Trijicon HDs are more of a target sight than anything, because you pick up that orange dot real fast. It's a real clean sight picture, and which is kind of the thing that I didn't like about these Viking Tactics sights, is it's sort of cluttered. And when you're shooting, especially in maybe a self-defense situation, you don't want to have all that clutter. You have your eyes being distracted by these rear sights and the front sight, and it's just, I don't know, it just doesn't work for me. I don't really buy it. I think it's a cool concept, different idea for sure, but I just don't really care for it that much, especially at the $240 price point. Now these sights came installed on this VTAC model. I guess that's technically what makes the Smith & Wesson a VTAC model. So I basically made my Smith & Wesson VTAC a regular Smith & Wesson, I guess, with a tan finish. I don't know. And to tell you the truth, that's why I bought the VTACs. I didn't really buy them for the sights. I bought it for the flat dark earth or the tan coyote brown finish. So these sights really, I wasn't attached to them when I bought the pistol. And some people might be like, well, why would you do that if you paid so much? I paid like $724 for this Smith & Wesson versus, I guess, a regular Smith & Wesson's closer to $500. But I'm selling these actually today, so that'll cover my loss and cover the price of the sights, the Trijicon HD night sights. Now these Viking Tactics sights are actually made by Trijicon as well. I don't know if you can read that on the thing, but they are made by Trijicon. So I don't know. I just don't really care for them that much. They're not that awesome to me compared to my Trijicon HDs. Also, I have the Trijicon HDs on my Glock 23, so I have sight commonality between the two guns. Whichever one I want to carry, I have the same sight picture. These are, you can also tell too that these are super tall. They're like a suppressor type height. So maybe if you're going to run a suppressor, maybe you'd leave them on. But these sights are pretty tall as well. I don't think they're as tall, but I think these would work for suppressors too. So if you have any comments or questions, just shoot me a comment, and thanks for watching.